To those joining us in New Zealand, kia ora, traditional welcome, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. To those joining us in Australia, traditional welcome, g'day. I acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the lands on which we all meet, lands which were never ceded. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and future. To those joining us online, traditional welcome. Hello, can you hear me? You're on mute. I put the link in chat. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional platforms on which we meet, Skype and Teams. We pay our subscription fee to Zoom and give encouragement to the video meeting startups present and emerging from Y Combinator. If you're watching this recording on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we want to hear from you. Is this comedy event what you wanted it to be? Leave a message in the comments and have a good time. So this is part of Spark Festival 2021, a 2-week celebration of startups, technology, and entrepreneurship everywhere. Really, the only thing better than one inspiring webinar is 2 solid weeks of inspiration from morning to night, spanning the exact dates when Australia's 2 largest cities emerged from lockdown. Speaking of lockdown, and how could we not, it's been 19 months since Australia and New Zealand first closed the borders and introduced restrictions. 19 months since we learned whether our careers were deemed essential in a crisis. 19 months of COVID-19 and tracksuit pants. So to celebrate that, let's take a look at the top 19 things that happened in tech in a segment I'm going to call This Pandemic in Startups. So number 1, the bushfires went out. Yeah, I remember bushfires. Everyone remember the bushfires near me app, the fires near me app. For the Kiwis who, bushfires, how it worked was if you, like on your phone, you had Bluetooth on and you were within 2 meters of someone who was in a fire, you'd get a little alert. And if they had the app and Bluetooth, which not everyone did. So please remember to check in if you are on fire. Number 2, Melbourne had an earthquake. Yay! How fun was that? Did I mention we have New Zealanders on the call? So, Number 3, what started as coronavirus went through name changes like a startup founder goes through domain names. So, okay, we've got coronavirus.com, we've got SARS-CoV.to, COVID19.me. I've also got Sniffer, Shedder, Sneezely, and Airborne.io. Yeah. I'm not sure about that last one because Air Borneo sounds like a Malaysian airline and that's not great. There was that fraternity that you were part of, a Delta. Okay, Delta.com is taken. It's another airline. Number 4, during the pandemic, we bought a lot of toilet paper. Not just me, we bought a lot of toilet paper. Who gives a crap that Australian toilet paper company had a 1,000% increase in sales? And they donated more than $10 million in profits to ensure that everyone has access to clean water. Woo. A toilet. Yeah, woohoo for that. Damn right. Who gives a crap then went on to raise $41 million from investors so that they can, roll out across the world. And then they donated to the Joke Keeper campaign to shame Aussie politicians into climate action, proving that who gives a crap were the ones who gave a crap all along. Right? The crap was coming from inside the house. Pandemic, suddenly everyone understood statistics. So people talking about percentages and growth rates, but I haven't yet seen a startup use an RF in a pitch deck. It's not quite, but exponential was used to describe non-exponential things so often that it was declared the new literally. It was misused so much, it was literally exponential. And speaking of literally exponential, Zoom happened. It went from 10 million users to 300 million users in 4 months. For anyone who's used it, 4 months is how long it takes to log into a WebEx meeting. But hey, live audience, how good is this, right? So Zoom is great because if you go outside, you need to wear a mask. But on Zoom, you don't even need to wear pants. Right? For the last few months, the only place you needed to wear pants is on OnlyFans. Some people actually got that reference. Okay, so Zoom has changed the way some industries work. Like, for example, a lawyer felt the need to explain to a judge that he was not a cat. Kids who were sick of online learning renamed their account Reconnecting, which is amazing. And men in corporate settings inappropriately got their dicks out. So no change there. But comedy had to change. So comedy clubs closed because one laugh per 4 square meters is just not funny. We tried online comedy, but it kind of sucks too, because without an audience, it's basically a podcast. And there are too many of those. Seinfeld has actually already tried car-based comedy. So I propose we try drive-through jokes. So like knock, knock. And then, yeah. And then you say, who's there? And then you say, I say, this is a map. And then, and then you say, this is a mapu. And that's funny. That was very childish. I giggled when I thought of that earlier today. So if Zoom can't save stand-up, maybe other tech companies can. Like they can step in. We could have Loltree or Laughterpay or Air T and He. With Type Fiverr, comics could earn money as part of the growing giggle economy. They may not be the only puns I have here. The world protested things like political inaction on climate change, systemic racism and the killing of Black people, sexual harassment and assault of women, including in Parliament and the workplace and just life. People protested having to have foggy glasses. I'm pretty sure that's what they were upset about. Some of them weren't wearing glasses. So I don't know. They were just being really supportive of glasses. Tech pros, space rockets, blah, blah, blah. Mackenzie Scott gave away another $3 billion. Like, woo! Yeah. And Annie and Mike Cannon-Brooks have just committed $1.5 billion to fight climate change, which is just freaking amazing. So like, if we're trying to reduce rising global temperatures, how much rocket fuel should we burn? Everyone made sourdough, and now everyone is making NFTs. And if you don't understand NFTs, NFTs are a bit like art and a bit like Bitcoin, like art meets Bitcoin. So now I can say, I don't understand blockchain, but I know what I like. I should have had a stronger finish with that, like whole rant, but anyway.